Hello everyone, this is Abha Verma. Today we shall discuss Bhakti movement in India. It was not that Bhakti movement evolved suddenly in the 8th to 18th century, but we can find out its roots in the Vedas. Bhakti means devotion, and the main emphasis of Bhakti movement was to have intense devotion by the devotee in his personal God. It originated in 8th century South India, especially through the Alvars and Nainar saints, and spread northwards. It swept over East and North India from 15th century onwards, reaching its zenith between the 15th and 17th century CE. Bhakti movement can be categorized into three parts: Vaishnavism, Shaivism, and Shaktism. The devotees who used to follow Vishnu, they were known as Vaishnavite. Those who followed Shiv, known as Shaivite, and the followers of Shakti means followers of God, goddess, Parvati or Lakshmi. Causes of the emergence of Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement had a complete ground for its starting. Basically, that was a time of Mughal rule, and the impact of Mughal rule and Islam played an important role in the evolution of Bhakti movement. Similarly, the Bhakti movement brought them hope and support and inner strength to save Hinduism. The Sufi saints also inspired this movement. This movement began with the aim of reforming Hinduism, protecting Hinduism. We can find out the reference of ancient Indian texts, for example, Katha Upanishad, Shvetashvatar Upanishad. In Shvetashvatar Upanishad, it is mentioned that he who has highest bhakti of Deva, just like his Deva, so for his Guru. To him who is high minded, these teachings will be illuminating, means who is pure, who has inner strength, he can be illuminated by the bhakti. These are the sources to find out the details about the bhakti movement. First one is Bhagavad Gita. We can trace the evidences from Bhagavad Gita in the form of Krishna. Krishna was the avatar incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Another evidence, another source is sutras. Next ones are Upanishads, Shandilya Upanishad and Narad Upanishad. Shandilya, a treatise resonating with Nirgun Bhakt, means this is favoring the Nirgun Bhakti system. Narad Upanishad is the follower of Sagun Bhakti system. This is a Nainar saint of 11th century. Again, a Nainar saint of 12th century, Mani Kavachkar. What is the philosophy of Nirgun and Sagun Brahm? Bhakti is divided into two parts, Nirgun and Sagun Bhakti Brahm or Bhakti system. Nirgun means the worship in which the God is worshipped in a formless way, in shapeless way. This is known as Nirgun Bhakti system. And Sagun, those who follow the idol, who follow the shape, who follow the form of God, for example, Ram and Krishna. So this system is known as Sagun Bhakti system. Kabir Das ji was a famous saint of Bhakti system and he followed the Nirgun Bhakti system. He deserves a major credit for bringing about a revolution in the system of Bhakti. His life sketch. Kabir Das was born in 1398 to a Brahmin widow at Lehertara near Kashi. Kashi is known as Varanasi presently. He spent his most of the life in Faridabad near Delhi. His mother abandoned Kabir with the fear of society. He was brought up in the poor Muslim weaver family of Niru and Nima. When he was lying on the banks of river Ganga, Saint Ramanand passed through and adopted him and made him his disciple. And when he died, both Hindus and Muslims claimed him as theirs. This is Kabir Chaura, Maghar. Some other buildings are Kabir Mutt, Nehru Tila. These are very famous buildings and places to visit the places of Kabir. Here are the teachings. The Kabir Bijak, Kabir Granthavali are the main scriptures composed by him. The Kabir Bijak is preserved by the Kabir Path in Varanasi and elsewhere in Uttar Pradesh. This system is followed in Varanasi and Uttar Pradesh. Next one is the Kabir Granthavali. It is associated with the Dadu Panth in Rajasthan. Dadu was a follower of Kabir, and the followers of Dadu were known as Dadu Panthis. So this was incorporated in the Dadu Panthis also. Kabir's poems have survived in several languages and dialects. The Sant Bhasha, this is known as Sant Bhasha, and the special characteristics of his language is Ulat Bhasi. Ulat Bhasi means upside down, means the meaning was reverse. For example, the lotus which blooms without flower. It conveys a sense of Kabir's mystical experience. Kabir writes in his teachings, in his poetry, for example, his beautiful verse is मसी कागद छुयो नहीं कलम गहो नहीं हाथ चारों जो के महादम कबीरा मुख ही जनाई बात means Kabir Das ji did not touch the pen or the ink or the paper, but he composed the verses. He knew the essence of whole universe. So this was the style of Kabir Das. He criticized the caste system. He said, God is one, He is ultimate, and He is known as by many names. For example, Allah, Khuda, Hazrat, and Peer. He attacked Hindu polytheism and idol worship. At that time, there was a tradition of worshipping many gods and goddesses, so he criticized that. He chose the place Kashi to condemn them. He was in favor of harmony between Hindus and Muslims. He stressed that there should be no caste discrimination, and he was in favor of welfare to others. He wanted to get salvation through bhakti. Next saint is Baba Guru Nanak Dev. Baba Guru Nanak Dev was born in 1469 in a Hindu merchant family in Nankana Sahib. Presently, it is in Pakistan. He advocated a form of Nirgun. He wrote down the verses and said them the Shabad. His teachings are: he rejected sacrifices, ritual baths, image worship, austerities, and the scriptures of both Hindus and Muslims. He was not in favor of his scriptures and the rituals made by Hindus and Muslims. For Baba Guru Nanak, the absolute or Rab had no gender or no form. He followed the Nirgun system of bhakti. He proposed a simple way to connect to the divine by remembering and repeating the divine name, means Simran, and Simran was of Shabad. It is prevailing in Punjab. Baba Guru Nanak organized his followers into a community, and that community is known as Sangat. The people who come to a particular place for a collective recitation of a prayer, that group is known as Sangat. And this system is very popular in Punjab. The fifth preceptor Guru Arjan compiled Baba Guru Nanak's hymns in the Adi Granth Sahib. These hymns called Gurbani. Baba Guru Nanak emphasized on the purity of conduct. He was not in favor of caste system. He criticized idol worship. Next saint is Mirabai. This is the woman saint. Mirabai was born in 1398, 1502, in the Hindu royal family in Pali district. She was brought up in Merta and was married to a royal prince of Sisodia dynasty. She died in Dwarka in 1556. Her language of preaching, her language of singing the songs was Brij Bhasha or Hindi. Her bhajans were transmitted orally for centuries. She was a Rajput princess of Merta, I explained you, and she used to dance and sing in praise of her beloved Krishna. Her in laws tried to poison her, but she escaped from the palace to live in as a wandering singer, composing songs that are characterized by intense expressions of emotion. Her teacher was Redas, and Redas was a leather worker. He was so called untouchable. So it shows that she did not follow the caste system, she did not follow the norms of the social life. She even rejected the royal dresses and adopted the saffron robe or the white robes. Her teachings are she did not believe in caste hierarchy, rather challenged the norms of upper caste. She showed intense devotion towards Lord Krishna that she left the kingdom. She did not believe in kingly norms. She preached love and deferred hatred. She became a disciple of Ravidas, as I explained you right now. This is the eternal love towards Lord Krishna. A beautiful poem written by Mirabai is Meera danced with ankle bells. Meera danced with ankle bells on her feet. People said Meera was mad. My mother in law said I ruined the family reputation. Rana sent me a cup of poison, and Meera drank it, laughing. I dedicated my body and soul at the feet of Hari. I am thirsty for the nectar of the sight of him. Meera's lord is Girdhar Nagar. I will come for refuge to him. Thank you.